What's up YouTube? Today, let's discuss whether Apple is still a good investment for everyday investors. From December last year to April 2024, Apple's stock price took a nosedive of over 16% from its all-time high, losing its crown as the world's most valuable company to Microsoft. Even the investing legend Warren Buffett decided to trim his Apple shares, selling 13% of his shares in Q4 2023, worth about $135 billion. And, to add a little drama, there were rumors floating around that CEO Tim Cook got fired because of the slump. Just kidding, Tim wasn't fired, he's still around, probably still making more money than most of us could ever dream of. But with all this going on, more and more people are wondering if this could be the beginning of Apple's fall from grace. What do you think? Surprisingly, Apple's stock price shot up by over 40% since late April, even hitting a new record high before taking the recent pullback. So what on earth caused the dramatic turnaround? I started tracking major news over the past 2 quarters, and the 2 things really stood out to me: iPhone sales numbers and Apple's AI development plans. So let's dig into what's behind this crazy ride. As one of the most important inventions of the 21st century, iPhone is so popular that Apple can sell over 2 million devices every year just by adding a few new colors and keeping the design pretty much the same each year.
How dare you, sir?
I hope you get my sarcasm here. Anyway, the revenue from iPhone sales ranges between $40 to $60 billion annually, making up about 50% of Apple's total revenue. That's why Apple's stock price is so closely tied to iPhone sales. For instance, when iPhone sales in China, a market that represents about 20% of Apple's revenue, were reportedly lower than expected, the stock price fell. Conversely, when sales numbers beat estimates, the stock price rallied. You might have noticed a big rally around June 10th when Apple's stock price hit new record highs. That was thanks to the announcement at their Worldwide Developers Conference that the new iPhone 16 will feature several AI upgrades. Investors got excited, thinking it could kick off another iPhone supercycle. So what's an iPhone supercycle? It's a period of extraordinary sales driven by significant upgrades and innovations in the new iPhone's design. The term supercycle might sound dramatic, but it's just a way to say these sales parties don't happen every month. Over the past decade, we've had 3 supercycles, each creating a significant revenue spike for Apple. This year, with all the buzz about AI, investors are expecting another massive jump in sales. Here, we are talking about smarter messaging, creating endless emojis, and enhanced photo apps. But if you really think about it, none of these features are huge enough on their own to make customers believe this is a brand new generation of iPhone. Look at every supercycle, you'll notice the drastic upgrades in the overall design of the iPhone. Each newly released iPhone looks so different from the year before. In my opinion, the appearance of the phone matters more when it comes to boosting sales. It's like using Tinder. Most people swipe right on a pretty photo, not a bio. It's just human nature. That's why I still have some reservations about whether we'll see another supercycle this year. The overall design of the phone doesn't seem like it's changing much, but hey, even if we don't get a supercycle, it's not the end of the world for Apple. According to the data, it takes an average iPhone user 3 to 4 years to upgrade to a new model, meaning there's always solid needs for new phones each year. Today, we still can't find a single product out there that's innovative or competitive enough to dethrone the iPhone, just like how Apple once took down Nokia. So I'm not too worried about seeing a sharp drop in sales if it turns out to be just a normal year. However, if the supercycle does happen, it's going to be a huge catalyst for a spike in Apple's stock price. In the Worldwide Developers Conference, Apple finally announced its plan to invest in AI, easing concerns that the company was falling behind on the AI race with other tech giants. 2023 was the year of ChatGPT, and Microsoft, being one of the largest investors in OpenAI, gained tons of interest from investors, even snatching the title of the world's most valuable company from Apple. Meanwhile, Google and Meta also rolled out their own AI plans. What about Apple? Apple seemed to be just sitting there and doing nothing. It's like the whole family is ready for vacation, luggage at the door, shoes on, and there's one kid still in bed, not even packed. Everyone got so panicked. We're still just at the beginning of the AI era. Artificial intelligence is helping us get work done faster and more efficiently, but it's still playing a supporting role at the moment. We haven't seen AI evolve to the point where it can completely replace humans or fundamentally change our lives. So, Apple isn't really that far behind. It feels like the rest of the family is panicking about missing the flight, But the truth is, no one realizes the flight is actually in 10 hours. With its partnership with OpenAI and Google, Apple is well positioned in the game. Now, if the highly anticipated supercycle doesn't materialize, or the AI features on the next iPhone turned out to be underwhelming, we might see another dip in the stock price. If that happens, I personally see it as a chance to buy more shares because beyond iPhone's popularity and the catch-up AI plan, there are a few more things that keep my faith in Apple. First of all, tech companies like Google, Microsoft, or Meta are fantastic at creating great software and apps. Others like Nvidia and Tesla are more hardware-oriented. But Apple is the only company in the Magnificent Seven that nails both, integrating the best software and hardware into one seamless product. Just think about it, Macintosh, iPod, MacBook, iPad, and iPhone. These are not just products, they're icons. That's what will make Apple so unique and insanely competitive in the market, at least in the next 5 or 10 years. Secondly, Apple's service sector has been growing by double digits over the past several quarters. It now makes up a quarter of Apple's total revenue, which is almost half of the iPhone's revenue. And get this, it comes with a jaw-dropping 75% gross margin. With its heavy investing in AI, the service sector could grow even faster and potentially become more profitable than the iPhone someday in the future. So, worst case scenario, even if the iPhone doesn't have huge growth potential in the coming years, Apple can still further expand its already billion-dollar business. Lastly, Apple unveiled the Apple Vision Pro in 2023 with $3,000 mixed reality headset. People couldn't stop talking about the price. Yep, it's super expensive and didn't fly off the shelves. But if you dig into the reviews, most tech reviewers were blown away by the innovation and the mind-blowing experience it offers. There's even a rumor that Apple is working on a more affordable version. Remember the iPhone story? It took 3 to 4 generations of upgrades for Apple to finally perfect it. The same could happen with the Vision Pro. Worst case, if the headset eventually gets cancelled, and the world is on the hunt for the next revolutionary product that packs all the greatest technologies into one, who's most capable of making it, based on everything I just covered, I still have to keep Apple at the top of my list. So my conclusion is, Apple still has the chops to elevate its game to the next level and maintain its strong competitiveness for a long time. It's still a good investment in my book. Now, when at what price should we buy? I always recommend using the dollar cost averaging method because nobody can precisely predict the stock market. Split your money into 5 or 10 parts and add more shares every time the price drops by 10%, 20%, or even 30%. I'm sure your profits might dip from time to time due to market volatilities. That's just the nature of the stock market. The key is to hold your investment patiently for long-term gains. That's my take on investing in Apple. Leave your comments if you agree or disagree. Happy investing. I'll catch you next time.